Hey there, welcome to another interesting YouTube tutorial where I'll be showing you step-by-step method on how to make this trendy northern cap, also known as Zara cap. So if you're new to our YouTube channel, make sure you click on the subscribe button to get notified when we post another sewing tutorial. So let us get right onto it. So these are the materials you'll be needing to create this. You will need a Duchess fabric of about 1.5 yard or 1 yard. I forgot how many yards I got. You also need this Mako. You can get this at a leather store or a cobbler store. And I also use Lycra. It is also known as jersey material. It is super stretchy at one side and the other side is not stretchy, as you can see. So these are the material you will need to create this Northern Zara cap. And the next step is to have your Duchess fabric in fold. I used 11 inches for the length, that makes it 22 inches, and for the width I used 28 inches. So I make sure to notch the center part of the fabric, the Duchess fabric, as you see. And then the next thing we are going to introduce is the Mako material. For the Mako material, I used 15 inches for the width, and for the length I used 3 inches. Also go ahead to notch the center part of your Mako fabric, because this we will use it to align the Duchess fabric and the Mako fabric together. Now the next step is to align the notched areas, making sure that they are positioned on the right line. Then you mark 1 inch at the edge of the Duchess fabric, 1 inches, 1 inches, 1 inches. This is the same allowance we are going to use to fold in the Mako fabric, just to secure the Mako in place and make it invisible. So we are going to fold it in, as you can see. Make sure that you fold it in, that there will be a little excess where you are going to run your stitch on, because we will not be running the stitch on the Mako fabric. We'll be running it on the Duchess fabric. So you are going to run a straight line stitch. And after you've run the stitch, this is what it's supposed to look like, and at this point you can go ahead to iron it. Next step is to have the fabric in fold, as you can see, and then input the measurement of the circumference of your head. Actually my head circumference is 22 inches and I added half an inch just for ease. So I added so that my measurement is 11.5, and for that Mako area I come in by 5 inches just to create a vent for where I will input my belt. So measure 5 inches from that point, then you run a stitch like a curved line to the last edge where the arrow is pointing at. And the next stage is to cut the rope that we use to tie the Northern Zara cap. So I used 8 inches by 60 inches. 8 inches by 60 inches, but my fabric is in fold. You can see that I measured 30 inches, but it is 60 inches, and I have this in two. So there is one piece and there is another piece, as you can see. So that is 2 pieces, and this you are going to join it together, right side facing each other, and you are going to go ahead to run a stitch as if you are making a belt. So you are going to go ahead and run a straight line stitch for both ropes or belt. And after joining, this is what it should look like now. And don't forget the 5-inch vent we left earlier. That is where we will be inputting the 2 belts we made earlier. So we are just going to put this inside the cap, and then we are going to join it right side facing each other, and you can go ahead to secure it together with pin and do the same for the other one too. Then go ahead to your sewing machine to close that area up. After you're done stitching, this is what it is going to look like. It is going to look like a sack or a pocket or something. So the next thing we are going to do is to hand stitch. Yes, we'll be needing needle and thread. Then we are going to like drape this together, as you can see. So the next stage is to cut out the base of the northern cap. For the width, I used 11.5, and this is the circumference of my head. I added half an inch for the seam allowance. I want it to be tight. And for the length, I used 17.5. And for the other short side, I would advise you use 15 inches. The 10 inches was too small, so I would advise you use 15 inches for that side. So the next thing is to press the hem of the lycra fabric. So I am going to join this together, as you see the way I'm directing my hand, and then press the hem of this fabric. And after sewing, this is what it should look like, and I used a fringe seam to close up the hem just to give it a neat finishing. And also make sure that you used 15 inches instead of 10 inches. The 10 inches turn out to be small, so use 15 inches for that slopey side, or 16 if possible. The next thing is to drape that area. Drape where we join together. We are going to use needle and thread to unstitch that part. Turn the fabric inside out and then you unstitch. So I'll be sharing with you a tutorial on how to tie the northern turban cap. So I already have a black scarf on for like a base, and I put a cloth inside to make it look like I have a hair on to give it more volume. And don't mind the shape of my head, I have my natural hair packed well. So the next thing we are going to do is to pick our base we made earlier. This is what it looks like, and if you could recall, I mentioned that you should make yours higher inches than mine. I think I used 10 inches. Make yours like 15 or 16 inches if possible. You will see why I said so. So we are going to wear this. As you can see, it is giving me like a pointy edge, which we do not need. So make sure that your inches is higher than mine. So after having the base on, I'll make sure that it shows some of my hair. And then the next thing I'm going to do, this is what the Zara cap looks like after we are done sewing it. This is what it looks like after I'm stitching this part, as you can see, and the hand. So the next thing we are going to do is just to wear it. Earrings I got from my sister's store. I'll leave our Instagram handle in the description box below. Wow, I really love how the northern cap turns out on me. And if you don't want to rock the base with it, it is fine. You can rock the cap alone. So this will be the end of the tutorial. If you find this video helpful, make sure you give it a thumbs up and share with others. And if you are new to our channel, make sure you subscribe. Bye.